is if you're in a relationship or you're married, you've been in a long-term relationship, is it cheating to flirt with someone else to seek validation?
I kinda like you.
Hey everybody, Stephen Bastian here, doing another episode of The Relationship Life. This episode is titled Seeking Validation, Good or Bad. Before I do that though, I want to address something. Yesterday I told you a little bit about myself, and I want you all to know that I left a lot of stuff out. Like I was setting an example, because I try to lead by example as much as possible, that you don't need to spill your guts on the first date. Okay? You just don't. You want to spread it out. You want to give the information in little tiny chunks, a little at a time. Now, over time, you'll get to know me better. I will tell you more about myself, more about my family dynamic. You don't know how many brothers I have. You don't know if I have any sisters. You don't know what my parents were like. But that's not something I'm going to tell you right now. We barely know each other. But as we get to know each other better, you're going to learn a lot more about me. So I want to clarify that so that if later on I tell you I have 4 brothers, or I grew up in South Florida, you're not going to be like, wait, you didn't tell me that earlier. Because that's what I was getting at yesterday with trust and transparency. We tend to overreact when we find out things in a new relationship that we didn't know before, because we expect unrealistically for that person to tell us everything. Like, ideally, when you meet somebody, let's say you meet on Tinder, and you say, okay, we're going to get together for a date, and you go out for lunch. Do you really realistically expect that person to sit down and put a fork in a salad, take a bite, chew it up, and go, okay, so I was born on a little farm with a little family and a little dog, and we all loved each other. It was in the mountains, so maybe we loved each other a little too much, especially the dog. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm being facetious, but you don't want to tell everything on the first date, because it's information overload. It's way too much information too soon. And like I said yesterday, we tend to put our best foot forward. And that's why I'm getting into validation today. We tend to put our best foot forward. We tend to show only the best parts of ourselves. Okay? Because we want that person to like us. We're seeking validation. You feel me? So is it good or bad? Well, it's both. If it's needy, it's bad. If seeking validation is needy, then it's bad. If it's to reaffirm and strengthen our self-esteem, it's good, but we should already have that self-esteem. Whoever you are, you're a great person. Be the best person you can be. Okay? Just be the best person you can be. Alyssa's laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me, Alyssa? Oh, you were laughing at the farm joke. Well, some people are into what they're into. I don't judge anybody. Whatever you're into, you're into. But your self-esteem, like, Alyssa, you're a great human. I know you. I've talked to you on the phone. You're a great human. I think you're awesome. I think you're smart. You've got your stuff together. You should never have any self-doubt. Ever. None of you should. But we all do. We're human. And human beings, they need to feel pretty. Whether you're a guy or a girl. I'm going to do a future episode on infidelity, but I'm going to touch on that now because I like each show to build into the next. TMI, right? I grew up in South Florida, but I moved to Boone, North Carolina, where men are men and sheep are scared to death. But what is infidelity? I mean, is it okay? Let's say you're married. You've been married 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, 12 years, whatever. And you start to wonder, especially as you get on in age, am I still pretty? Am I still attractive? Do I still have it with the ladies? Is wearing a Snoopy shirt cool? I think it is. They call him Joe Cool for a reason, right? So you go online, you're on Facebook, you see, let's say you're a female, you see a guy, he's attractive, he's got it going on a little bit. Seems like he's got some funny posts, so you message him, hey, you're pretty funny. And he messaged you back, yeah, I looked at your page, you're really cute, blah, blah, blah. And you start texting him. And you're just texting back and forth. You send him a few pictures. What do you think of this? Or you don't even ask, you don't even have to ask. Most time women don't even ask. You'll be chatting about some random stuff about a Slurpee, and then bam, there's a picture of her in jeans going, she wants one thing and one thing only. She wants you to say, oh my God, you look amazing. Now, I tend to cater this show more towards women because most of my best friends are women. This one's for the guys. Ladies, look away. Guys, if you're online and you're chatting with a female and you're just getting to know each other, or let's say you've been talking for a while, I'm going to circle back to the infidelity thing, don't worry, but I'm going to talk to the guys for a minute. If you're chatting with a female, and let's say you've been chatting with her for even a couple months, and she sends you a picture of her looking hot, I promise you, you are not the only guy she sent that picture to. Probably at least 4, maybe as many as 7, because she wants that validation. She subconsciously wants to know that these guys think she's hot. So when she sends you that picture, you're thinking to yourself, wow, look at that. She sent me a picture. She must like me. Gives you a little bit of validation, doesn't it? No. I guarantee you, she went down her friends list and looked at all the other guys she's been chatting with, and she sent bam, 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 and then you, bam. Or maybe you were first. Maybe you guys are besties. Bam, and then bam, 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 bam. The reason I said this is for the guys, here's a tip. Here's a tip, gentlemen. Don't give it to them. Do not acknowledge that picture. Matter of fact, the best thing you could do to acknowledge that picture is just to put cool. That's it, just cool. You know why? Because all of those other 5 guys that she sent the picture to, every single one of them are saying, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous. That picture's so hot. One of them might even be as ballsy as to say, I'd hit that. Hell yeah. You need to stand apart if you have any chance of ever being with her. Any chance. Because she's seeking that validation. She craves that validation. If you're the one that doesn't give it to her, she's going to want it more. She's going to try harder. Suddenly, even though she may tell you, I never chase guys, she's chasing you. Because you're the one that just said, cool. And then change the subject. That's the other thing. Change the subject. Say cool, and then go, so what are you getting into today? Like, just blow it off. I've got a best friend that I talk to every day, mostly all day. She is a pro at deflecting. I've said things to her where I've said things that I know she's going to jump on because I'm seeking validation. I'm guilty of it too. I'm human. And she just glossed over it. Like it didn't even faze her. It didn't even cross her cranium. I mean, maybe it did. Maybe she just ignored it intentionally. Maybe she's that good at the game. Hey, Amy. Maybe she's that good at the game. But when she sends that picture out, you need to be that guy that just, cool. Now, I'm not saying be a dick about it. You don't want to invalidate her. You know, there are other acting coaches. I'm also an acting coach. There are other dating coaches that will tell you, give her a backhanded compliment. It works. It does force her to seek more validation, but it can also cause tension in the relationship. It can also cause her to think, this guy's a dick. Now, some women like that. Some women crave that. Some women, it's ironic that a lot of females, and again, I'm still talking to you guys, a lot of females, they like the guy that's going to ignore her and treat her like crap. You really don't want that girl. Because that girl is going to have problems later on down the line. Because she's going to get sick of your crap. And suddenly you think, hang on, as far as being in a relationship, if you know you're the one, you don't need constant validation. That's true, but even if you're in a relationship, like I said earlier, let's circle back to that. Let's say you're married, you're in a relationship for a long time. Your husband is supposed to tell you you're pretty. He's supposed to tell you you look amazing. You go get your hair done, he's supposed to be the first one to notice. He's supposed to be the one to go, oh my God, you got your hair done. You look amazing. If he doesn't, he's an asshole. Sorry for my French. But he's supposed to. And you know subconsciously that when he says, baby, you look amazing in that dress. Well, that's his opinion. He's supposed to say that. But when that guy you're talking to on Facebook says you look amazing in that dress, that's the good stuff. That's the unbiased opinion that you seek. That's the validation. Now, I know what you're talking about, Amy. You're talking about constant validation from the one you're with. I did a life tip yesterday, and it's very true, and it harkens to this show. It's not a sin to seek validation. What is a sin is when the person you're with forces you to seek validation because they're not giving you what you need. They're not giving you the attention that you crave. They're not letting you know you're number one. You may know you're number one. We all know it. I mean, I have a best friend. I talk to her, like I said, all day, every day. She's amazing. She's wonderful. She's my bestie. But every once in a while, I need to know I'm still her best friend. Even though I know it. In my head, I know it. I know it in my head. I know that I'm the best friend she's ever had. We're awesome. But I need to know. My ex-wife was the same way. She wasn't very forthcoming with the compliments, although she did have a nickname for me. It was Sexy Man. But I still needed to know because I'm human and we all crave validation. That's why I said. Now, is that cheating? That's what I was getting to is if you're in a relationship or you're married, you've been in a long-term relationship, is it cheating to flirt with someone else to seek validation? No, unless you take it too far. If you meet that person for coffee, you cross the line. If you take it into the real world, you've crossed the line. If you start getting feelings for that person, you've crossed the line because you need to be. I had a friend. This was a long time ago, but I had a friend that I got feelings for, and she got feelings for me, and we were friends. And she was in a relationship. And one day she told me, "I need to make my partner my best friend. We can't be best friends anymore." And it was hard for me because I was like, I didn't understand. I thought I was your best friend. Well, you are, but I need to make my partner my best friend. I need to focus on him. And she did. And it ended our friendship for a while. We ended up getting back together again as friends, but it was hard. She did the right thing. That's what she needed to do because it was getting too intense. It was too hard. She would often tell me, it's too hard. I can't do this. I shouldn't do this. She knew, because we know right from wrong. We know when something is just wrong and we're stepping out of line. So you need to listen to your heart and listen to your conscience. Now, what other forms of validation are there? Well, we could even talk about sex. And I'm going to do, by the way, I'm going to do a relationship life after dark soon. It's going to be for adults only. It's going to be late at night. And we're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about all kinds of sex. But we'll get into that another time. But validation for sex. I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone, you know, some women fake it. And you know why women, guys, listen to me. If a girl you're with is faking it, all she's doing is giving you validation. She may not be in the mood. She may not be feeling it at that moment. And yeah, she didn't get hers. But at least she's giving you yours. You know? And that's a form of validation. You know, would it kill you when you're married or you're in a relationship every once in a while to say to your significant other, oh my God, that was amazing. That was the best I've ever had. You rocked my world. And mean it? Or at least make them think you mean it? Because that makes us feel, as guys especially, that makes us feel good. You know, guys, if you're in a relationship, I don't care if you've been married for 10 years, make out with her. Do the things that you used to do when you were dating, because that is validation. Make out with her, cuddle with her, caress her. When you're laying in bed and you're ready to get busy and she walks into the room buck naked, just look at her and go, wow. That little wow is going to put a smile on her face. That little wow is going to go, damn. You know what? And she may not have to seek validation from anybody else. She may not have to talk to whoever online because she got that wow. She got that wow. You want to let her know, wow. You want to let him know, wow. You know, and I don't want to get into a whole bunch of the sex because, again, we're doing this during the day. I don't know if there's anybody underage that's watching this, so I'm not going to go too graphic. We'll touch on a lot of that in the After Dark segment when we get to it. But validation is perfectly okay. Seeking validation is perfectly okay, as long as you don't become obsessed with it. It's like anything else in life, everything in moderation. If you're obsessed with validation, if you're constantly sending pictures to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 guys a day, constantly craving that attention, you need to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself how pretty you are. You don't need to hear that from someone else, because you are. You're amazing. Whoever you are. You need to feel that. But it's okay to get a little bit of validation every now and then. I hope I answered your question. If you have any questions, please hit me up in chat while we're still here. I love to take questions live. If you don't, and you don't want to have people know your business, you can message me privately and I'll do a future show. There are going to be shows where I'm going to do a follow-up of the previous show, like a mini show. I was going to do one last night on transparency, trust, the one I did yesterday. I had a couple of questions. One friend of mine asked me, what is a little lie? What do you consider a tiny insignificant lie? Because remember, I told you it starts off as a little tiny lie and it escalates into like the dominoes falling over. It escalates into a gigantic monolithic lie, and it ends up being a deal breaker for the relationship. What is a little lie? I told you there were 3 types of lies. There was omission, commission, and a lie of protection. The lie of protection is really cool because the lie of protection can be either a lie of omission or a lie of commission. It can be either one. If you end up sleeping with a guy, and maybe he's not all he said he was. A lot of us guys, we talk a good game, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have it going on. He's disappointed you. And this goes back to validation also. So you tell him a lie of protection, and you say, no, you were great. You were great. It was awesome. It's a lie of protection. And it's innocent, and it won't hurt anything. But then you get into other lies of protection where, you're talking to somebody. Let's say you're chatting online, you're getting to know each other, and let's say you've been talking for a while, and he flat out asks you, are you talking to anybody else? Yeah, because he's curious. He wants to know, where he stands. Again, validation. He wants to know where he stands. Are you talking to anybody else? No, I don't talk to anybody but you. And you are? That's a lie of protection. Now, you would think that's a good thing. You would think, I'm doing a good thing. I'm protecting his feelings. I don't want to hurt the guy. I don't want to let the guy know that I'm talking to, whoever. That I'm giving them attention. That I'm sending them pictures and they're sending me pictures and we're validating each other. And maybe I like him a little bit. Guys, let me tell you something. This is, again, going to go to the guys. Listen carefully. If you're talking to somebody and she constantly tells you she's busy, all she's telling you is she's too busy for you. Now, some people have families and kids and so they're single moms who have kids and they've got a lot of responsibilities. But trust me, if she wants to talk to you, if she's interested in you, if she wants your validation, she's never too busy. Never. We all have our phones on us at all times. I keep my phone with me 24/7. It stays by my bedside when I'm sleeping. It stays in my pocket when I'm not. I constantly have my phone. And my friends will attest to the fact, every single one of them, that when I get a text message, unless I'm at a wedding or driving, I generally answer immediately, or if I'm in the pool. I generally answer immediately. 9 times out of 10, if you send me a text message, you're going to get a response within 5 minutes. And let me tell you something, people. I'm a busy mofo. I got a lot of stuff going on. I've got a kid. I raise a kid. I'm working. I've got companies. I'm doing all these things. I'm busy as hell. But if I care about you either as a friend or as something more, and I really, truly care about you, I'll make time. I'll make time. I can't be that busy. So if a girl ever tells you, I'm really busy, she's just too busy for you. And it's time to move on. It's time to look for something else. Because there is a girl out there that no matter how busy she is in real life, she's going to find the time to talk to you, and she's going to give you the validation you seek. I'm Stephen Bastian. This is The Relationship Life. I'll see y'all tomorrow.